Hello guys and welcome back to another Thaumcraft 4.2 tutorial. Today we're going to be covering the Primal the Primal staff thingy majig and the Void robes. So without further ado, let's get into it. So last episode we covered a couple of bits and pieces. Didn't go into a great amount of detail, covered some small bits and pieces like the one focus of the Primal. Covered that, and we had a look at the sanity checker as well, and a little bit of a look at the void metal. So we're going to start off today going through how to make the void metal. I briefly explained it in the last one, but let's go through from start to finish. So to make these little void seed things here, you can actually make these in an alchemical construct. Put in normal vanilla Minecraft wheat seeds in there. It's going to take 2 alienists, 8 can't ever remember which one that is. 8 of the tenebrae and 8 of the vakos, and that will make you 1 void seed. Your 1 void seed you can use to make void metal ingots. Also has to be done in an alchemical construct. I don't think you can shut this in a furnace because it's probably not going to work. I don't think it works. No, it doesn't work. As far as I know, this is the only way of doing it. And this is going to take 8 metallum. So that's not too bad at all. Melt down a couple of ingots. You'll get yourself plenty of metallum to be able to do this. And you're not going to need a great deal of it. Maybe a stack or 2 stacks in the long run. Not a lot of it. So you should be all good there. So there you go, that's how you make your void seeds, and that's how you make your void ingots. So moving on from there, you can actually make void metal nuggets with your standard way of just putting an ingot in a crafting grid and getting yourself some nuggets there. These nuggets can be made into, as you can see here, I'm just showing you how much it's going to cost. They can be made into the void metal cap. So you're going to take your void metal nuggets like so, like you do with every single one cap you've ever made so far. It's going to take 18 air and 18 ignis. It's also going to take 27 mind blank there, Pedicio, and 27 Ordo. I don't know why I'm blanking on these today. Obviously that's going to take this from your wand. I got quite good discount on there, so it's taken it down a lot. But that's going to make inert void metal caps. So like the thaumium caps, let's just take our wand back. Like the thaumium caps, and likewise you're going to have to charge these things up, and that's going to be done through infusion. So the way you do this is it's going to be the void metal cap in the center there, surrounded by Salus Mundus on 4 sides. It's going to take 18 Alienus, 18 Auram, 18 Potentia, and 18 Vakos. You need to do this for each wand cap that you do. So if you want 2 wand caps, you're gonna have to do this twice. You're gonna need obviously double the amount of all of this stuff. Cool. So that's how you charge these wand caps, and then you'll get charged. I think it's charge void metal. Wait, charge void metal cap. That's the one. And these can be put on things. So let's have a look at these charged metal caps and see what's so special about them. Crafting wand caps from void metal seems counterintuitive. Since it seems to be highly resistant to magic, but counterintuitive is where you live now. Your gamble paid off. The metal itself may be resistant to magic, but it channels with surprising ease. The magic does seem strange somehow, but it's probably just your imagination. So, I'm not exactly sure. I think these give off the same thing as thaumium wand caps. We'll actually test this out. Let's have a look. Let's grab 2 charged metal void caps here. Gonna do a bit of a test here, so and then we're gonna grab 2 charged thaumium caps also, and we'll place this down over here real quick. So we'll take our rod there, make these 2, capacity of 100, and let's grab ourselves 1 more of these. Oh, not 64, thank you. And then we'll go like that. So it has the exact same capacity base as these ones here. Not exactly sure on too much of the stats of these, but normally it explains it a bit better in the book, but I'm not exactly too sure on the stats of them. But they do both have the capacity, same capacity base on both of them, so there's that there. So it should have the same capacity base as thaumium. So pushing all that aside, let's go have a look at the Primal staff core of the Primal. So this is a very, very, very cool core. This core pulses with latent energy. It combines all the features of the lesser staff cores. It has the vis storage capacity of the Silverwood core and able to replenish vis stores like the various Primal 1 cores. So as you remember, if you remember us going back to all the Primal 1 cores, let's go have a little quick look at them again. Each one of them can replenish their vis. So you have a look here, we've got the Bone one. A Bone used 1 core has slightly greater chance store potential than Greatwood cores, however, superior to Greatwood cores. What makes it superior to Greatwood cores, however, is that if the level of Perditio stored inside it drops below 10%, it will slowly replenish without the use of a node. So, with all of that in mind, if you have all 6 of the Primal ones, it's never ever going to drop below 10%. It's going to always recharge itself back up. So, even if you're running around and you start running low, it's going to start recharging itself for you, which is really, really cool. It's quite expensive to make, however, but I think it'd definitely be worth it. So let's go and have a check out. So as you can see, we've got all of these ones here. And they've got to be in certain places. So we've got the water one here. It has to be opposite earth. I think that's the water. No, air. Air and earth are opposite each other. Sorry, air and earth. Water and fire are opposite each other, and Ordo and Perditio are opposite each other, and we got 2 Primals opposite each other as well. It's going to take 32 of each of the Primal aspects in Essentia form and 64 of the Precantatio. This is quite a dangerous, or no, a very high instability on this one. So it is going to be quite unstable, but it'd definitely be worth it. You're going to have to make all the other staffs first and stuff like that, but it's definitely worth it. Like, they're not too hard to make. That one's probably the most difficult. But yeah, once you get into them, it's not too hard to make, and it's definitely worth making it. So let's go check this thing out. So we're going to take the staff core of the Primal. Like it said, we're going to have to put some 1 caps on it. So let's grab ourselves some Thaumium 1 caps here. Chuck that in there. Chuck these 2 on there, and as you can see, it's taken a crazy amount of stuff here. So there's only one way that you're going to be able to get this, and that is going to be wearing, I believe, full Thaumaturge gear. So let's chuck all that on, and where is it? A Thaumium Bossed Silverwood Scepter. So we chuck that in. There you go. It's going to take it down to 134. That is going to be the only way that you're able to do this, because if you use a normal Thaumium wand, it's not going to work. So let's just take you through a quick little process of this here, of how we're going to do all of this stuff. So Scepters. There you go. So crafting Scepters. I don't think we've ever covered this. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your Silverwood rod. Instead of putting 1 cap there and 1 cap there, you're going to need 3 charged Thaumium caps and a Primal charm on top of it. And it's going to take 81 of each of the things. So you're going to need your Thaumium 1 to make this initially as well. Crafting Scepters are specialized ones made to be used to craft mystical objects and nothing else. Foci cannot be attached to them. So these are primarily for your crafting table. You can't shove any foci on them. You can't use them for attacking things. It's basically just got better storage, so you can craft things better with them. But still have several features that still make it worthwhile. Firstly, they have additional 10% BIS discount above and beyond what their caps would normally grant. So it's got a capacity of 150. Let's quickly go have a look over here. See if we can find the discount. Yeah, 69% discount cost opposed to the 79% that the Thaumium Boss has. So for that extra 1 cap on a Primal Charm, you can now have yourself an extra 10% discount on there. Secondly, they're able to hold 50% more vis than their cores would normally allow. So as you can see, instead of holding 100, it holds 150. And like other ones, they can be crafted using most combinations of rods and caps. Just a few examples are given on the next page. So you can actually use different cores if you wanted on that, and it should recharge itself. Like if you wanted to use one of the Blaze Rod 1 cores, you could do that and it'll recharge itself up if it drops below 10% on the Ignis side of things. But yes, so that's how you do that. That's how you're going to be able to craft this with the whole setup on and your scepter. Place that in there, and that is going to be the only way you can do that. And as you can see, this thing has 250 capacity. So we didn't finish covering this. Let's quickly go have a look at the rest of it. Let's pop up back here. So lastly, it adds 1 level of potency to any foci used with it. Truly a potent tool in any thaumaturge's arsenal. Note you still need to add caps to this staff rod just like you would for a wand. So it adds a level of potency to whatever. So if you've got something maxed out with level 5 potency across it, this will add another level of potency on top of it, and it's got so much storage on it that it's absolutely fantastic. And this is going to be your main attacking one. This doesn't have any warp or anything on it. As you can see, it's slowly recharging itself. So we're down to less than 10%. So it should charge it to 25%. It should charge it to 25 in all of the aspects, if we were to leave that for a little while. As you can see, it's not going super duper fast, but it is working its way, which is really, really cool. I think it does it even when we're not holding it. Yes, it does indeed. So there you go. That is the staff. I can never ever remember that. Staff core of the Primal. That's what I was going to say, and I thought I was wrong. But anyway, so moving on. As you remember last episode, I showed vaguely that you could make sort of void things out of void metal, like your sword, your normal tools. You can make armor out of it and all of that stuff. You can take this a step further and make robes. You can make robes out of these things, and you can sort of combine them. So standard with the helmet, you don't have the goggles revealing on it, which kind of sucks. You've got warping 1 on these as well, just bear that in mind. And when you upgrade to the next level, let's quickly show you here. You will, when you upgrade to the robes, you will actually get warping 2 on them, but you'll start getting your vis discount as well, as these don't provide any vis discount. So a truly enlightening thaumaturge realizes that he does not need to choose between utility and defense. By augmenting existing void armor with proper enchantments and combining them with thaumaturge's robes, he will be able to create a set of armored robes that not only offers physical protection and mental focus, but mystical protection as well. The robes will also retain all the properties of void armor, while the hood will offer all the benefits of the goggles used in its crafting. The armor can be dyed, so you can actually dye this stuff as well, like you can do the normal thaumaturge armor. So you don't have to have it purple if you don't want to, but personally I think this looks pretty bad ass when it's finished. So as you can see here, there's only 3 items. It doesn't include boots, unfortunately, because there is if you have a look back in the artifice tab, if you remember all the way back to here, there are actually boots of the traveler, and I think the mod author wants you to use these more than anything. And obviously once you get into Thaumic Tinkering, I think it's Thaumic Tinkering, I'm pretty sure it is. I don't know, no, it might not be. But there are some sort of add-ons that do add their own boots and stuff like that. There you go, that's the one. Thaumic Exploration, I believe it is, and these add some more boots in here as well. So there are some variants to the boots, so don't worry too much about that. So let's jump straight into it and see how you make these things. So you're going to need your void helmets, which you made in the last episode, which were the void metal ingots, like so. You're going to need your Enchanted Fabric. You're going to need 4 pieces for the helmet. This gets different a little bit later on, so don't think this is going to be a uniform thing for everything. You put goggles revealing on top, opposite some Salus Mundus. Your Enchanted Fabric, you should know how to make some Enchanted Fabric by now, and it's going to take 16 of a lot of Essentia. So you're going to need Alienus, Metallum, Panis, Precantatio, Census, Tutamon, and Bacchus. And that's all going to be done on the infusion altar, and these are all very high instability. Well, not very high, they're all high instability, so be wary of that when you're making these. So as you can see in the next one, it takes a little bit more. So let's have a look at this. So this one's going to take the void chest plate, which obviously is made like a chest plate with void metal ingots. It's going to take a thaumaturge's robes opposite some Salus Mundus, and as you can see, this is where it gets a little bit different. So it's going to take void metal ingot, thaumium ingot, leather, and Enchanted Fabric instead of the 4 Enchanted Fabric. So it does vary up a little bit here. And you're going to need all of them same essentially that we had in the last one, except you're going to need 24 metallum. So this takes a little bit extra on some of these. Precantatio and Alienus stays the same though, so don't worry too much about that. You're probably going to need about a jar full of each of these aspects to make the entire set roughly. And then the final one we've got over here are the legs. So this is going to hit Thaumaturge leggings with void leggings in the middle, and then the exact same sort of setup as the chest plate over there, and a little bit less on the Essentia, but a little bit more than the helmet. So that's not too bad there. So if we grab all of these bits and pieces here, once you get all these infused up, I gotta say these do look pretty nice indeed. I'm gonna leave these little boots that we have on. There you go. That's the back view. You got a Thaumanomicon on the back, we got a scroll there, we got a little pouch on the side of us there. Looks really, really cool. I absolutely love this armor set. The only thing that I don't like about it is that it gives you warping effects throughout. It gives you warping 2 on every piece. Other than that, I think it's one of the most badass pieces of armor you can ever get. Other than the Crimson Cult stuff, which I haven't actually shown you. We'll actually grab some of that out just to end this episode off. So last time I showed you where you could get this stuff, and now I'm going to show you what it looks like. So if you remember, we went to the obelisk last time. If you guys did watch it, we went to the obelisk last time, and this is where you get all of this stuff from killing the knights. This will be the get up that you get from killing the knights. Looks pretty rad, not going to deny that, and these don't have warping on them, so bear that in mind as well. It gives you protection too. It's got quite decent protection on it. The Crimson Cult boots are part of the robes. You don't actually have any official boots for this set here. So just bear that in mind. If you do want to wear the boots, you can wear these boots, or you can wear another set of boots, or you can just wear basic Thaumcraft boots basically. There's no real sort of set boots. I think everything's sort of centered around the boots of the Traveller. Hopefully that gets updated and there's a couple more boots released in the future. But for the time being, that is all we really have. And then the other set is obviously the robes. And these robes look pretty badass as well. You don't get your Thaumanomicon on the back of it. You do get your scroll in your little pouch though, and I think it looks pretty cool. This does give you warping 1, but you only get a 1% vis discount on these, so that's where the void robes kind of trump them. But that is all I've got time for today, guys. I hope you guys have learned something new, and yeah, go check out all the Eldritch Void stuff, because it is really, really awesome and really interesting stuff. And then next episode, what we're going to do is we're going to start getting towards the outer lands, and then that means we can transfer over to this stuff, and then we're going to have a look at the advanced Essentia storage at some point as well. I'm yet to look into them, so I've got to do some research on that before I start blabbering on to you guys and misleading you with false information about them. So I'm going to go play with them, but we'll work on getting to the outer lands, and we'll show you about all of that bit. So thank you guys very, very much for watching. I hope you have yourselves a very fantastic day. Make sure you like the video if you liked it, subscribe if you haven't done so already, and I'll see all your beautiful faces in the next video. Goodbye.